Welcome back to Wonderful Radio. This week we are happy to welcome Megan Taylor, representing for Chicago. Megan is no newcomer to the DJ craft and has built a strong brand and clientele for herself, playing many different corporate and private events. Something different from the usual club DJ, Megan shows us another side of the professional and business aspects of being a DJ. Stay locked in to hear a quick interview with Megan Taylor and to listen to her music mix. Thank you for tuning in to Wonderful Radio. Hey, what's up, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in to Wonderful Radio. Today, before we jump into her music mix, we're going to get the chance to speak to Megan and find out more about her career and what advice she would give to other people. How are you doing today, Megan?
I am good. I'm a little stressed because I have a huge event tonight, but it's kind of normal. So you caught me on like a normal day.
Okay, right. May I ask what kind of event it is?
Yeah, it's actually like a huge private event. Tonight it's at, I live in Chicago, so it's like a 300-person event, this dope venue that's on right on the lake. So it's a great summer spot. So it's kind of all day, and I'm playing with the drummer for part of it. I'm doing dancing inside and outside, so it's like a lot of elements, but it should be really, really fun.
Awesome. That's dope. Well, we'll get this wrapped up soon so you can get to your focus. Just for reference, where are you originally from? And then you said you're currently based in Chicago. Is that where you're from?
Yeah, I'm from like small town Illinois, which is in the Midwest. Mm-hmm. And it's like a town of 8,000. It's part of my story though, because my dad used to work for Sony Records, and actually but it wasn't like a sexy job. It was really handling like the distribution of all this music. So long story short, I was the kid that got all the CDs before they came out. So I feel like I kind of fell in love with music at a really, really young age. I go down to the basement where my dad kept all the inventory and like search through CDs. And it's kind of where I built my love for music. And then I went to college in Chicago, and I kind of never left. So I'm based out of Chicago right now.
Okay, nice. Super dope. That's a cool kind of like a past history of how, you were just like probably overwhelmed with like all this good stuff coming at you through music. So I was doing a little bit of research on you, and I know you do a lot of different types of events. Which do you like better, being in a club setting or doing wedding and more corporate events? Which is more pressure to you?
That is a great question. I think right now in my career, I don't have a residency right now, and I haven't had that for a while just because I kind of blew up doing private events. So I'll do some really cool weddings, which I feel like weddings kind of used to get a bad rap just because there was sort of this stigma and cheesiness and like typical wedding that kind of music that kind of was expected. Mm-hmm. But the cool thing is I found myself doing a lot of weddings, especially in the pandemic, because corporate's not popping up so much. So I'm doing a lot of social and private parties and weddings. But I have really, I think, cool clients who want dope music, something untraditional, and they kind of find me. So I've really kind of found myself in this great circuit for weddings. And I'll say the fun thing about weddings, they are a little high stress, but they're stressful just because I care. It's like someone's day, so I want it to be amazing. Yeah. But it is fun because people really come to celebrate. So you just always have amazing energy, which is really fun for every dance floor. So that's really great too. And then I do a lot of stuff with, like, I do galas, and then I also work with brands. So I do, a Nike, a SoulCycle, a magazine. Like, what I have found that really gives me the most inspiration, and I can include clubs in that, is I like the diversity of it all. It keeps me on my toes. What I play one place and what I mix, I can't play other places. So for me, because I have such a versatile and I'm open format, I love the opportunity to play in so many different venues, and it kind of keeps things fresh for me as well too. Mm-hmm. Nothing kind of it's not a rinse and repeat. I just have to always kind of be thinking and integrating new music.
Nice, super dope. Yeah, I like to see that because I think, yeah, with this platform, we've spoke to a range of women, some people that are very specifically like house or techno and they're in clubs,
Yeah.
and some women that are more open format, they're doing a range of different things. So it's cool. Yeah, I feel like you, when I was looking through like your profile and stuff, it's like, oh yeah, you've created a brand for yourself that's strong, but you're doing like a wide variety of stuff. And like you said, it's cool that it's not the typical, because yeah, the wedding DJ thing can be like, oh, what, is that cool to be a wedding DJ? But I could tell you're doing like some really dope stuff and you've created a brand for yourself. So it's like a whole experience, which is awesome.
Thank you.
So I read that you are correct me if this has changed, you're the DJ and music advisor for TEDx. How did you get connected with TEDx?
Yeah, TEDx, and actually it's like TEDx Chicago. It's not all the TEDx's because they're all branches. So
correct.
But how I got involved is I think they just reached out and they asked me. And so the cool thing about TEDx Chicago is they really when they brought this to Chicago, they do like really specific talks. There's a very strong format for them, but they always integrated more experiential music in between. So they would have a lot of live performances, and then I really got to set the stage for doing kind of the party after, but then also in the beginning and integrating more stuff. And especially I did TEDx Women in Chicago, which was really great. I was on a stage and I kind of got to set the tone. So was playing like a lot of like Aretha Franklin remixes and Stevie Nicks. And so why I love TEDx is because it's more about curation than it is about a party. And I think that I use music to tell a story. So like that is such a fun brand for me because ultimately like the theme of what I do is I just think music is vibration. Music heals. Music creates a different energy. And so whatever format I'm playing in front of, it is fun to like for me to mix it up because I think music really can transform people.
Yeah, definitely. That's super dope. Yeah, I never even considered, who would be in that role working with like a brand like TEDx, like, yeah, who's thinking of the music curation to go with these, events they're doing and stuff. So that's super dope when I read that, and totally agree with you. Yeah, the impact and what you can curate with music is like, it's very transformational for sure. So I was doing research and then about some of your history with schooling. So how does an art and math major from DePaul University become one of Chicago's hottest DJs?
There's no real like rhyme or reason for this. It's just a crazy story. Like I feel like a lot of people have life stories around this. I think the short story is I have a very much like a math brain and I have an art brain, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like how does an 18-year-old know what they really want to do? I mean, even now, how do I know what I really want to do? It's a big thing of mine. And I double majored in them. And actually I got into video editing. So I wanted to I was like, I'm going to make video edit. I'm going to like do dope music videos. That's kind of what I thought when I was like 21. Well, in Chicago, there's not like a ton of opportunity for that. But I ended up working at an agency that books out video contractors, and I actually moved more into a sales, kind of more of an over producer role, but at the same time they book out, it's called Fig Media, and I'm still part of that agency, and they book out DJs. So that was kind of the leap and the opportunity for me to DJ. And I think a lot of it is the same. It's sort of using your creative brain, but as a DJ, especially being open format, and like I'm always thinking of like 10 lanes, like of how I can get to where I'm gonna go, right? So there is sort of this systematic approach of flow, and then largely using my intuition. So I feel like it kind of like exercises like both sides of me. And just when I was younger, like I've been DJing for 15 years, I think. In Chicago, there wasn't many women DJs. There were a few, and they did clubs. And I was like, I just saw a space. I saw a space to fill, really in private events, and I had some connections, and I would DJ anything that I could. Because still to this day, like the best place where I get bookings is from people seeing me live. So I just was able to kind of like see a hole and really work really hard to fill it with support of the team. And so, I mean, I had no idea it would become what it's become,
Yeah,
But
that's really cool.
Life.
Yeah, I love to hear that. Yeah, how people's stories like, well, this is kind of what I thought and where I started, and then this is how I got here. I love that perspective of where you came from, and it's cool that you feel like it just makes sense how you're working with these elements of what you thought. Oh, I was in art and math, but now I'm kind of being creative, but also analytical and like have a process. So that's super cool. And it seems like it's what was meant to happen completely. So we're gonna wrap it up with one more question. So I saw that you've done a lot, obviously, with that many years in the game, with over 1,000 gigs played nationally and internationally. I'm sure you've learned a lot along the way. Do you have any key advice you would give to up and coming DJs looking to gain steam and relevance with building their career?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think one of the most important things and the way that I have found the most success is I'm just a great businesswoman, and I think largely 80% of my time is spent around the business and less around the DJing and being creative, if I'm being honest. Honestly, like knowing the right people, but like answering emails, showing up, knowing who to make happy, knowing what client expectations are, shifting if I need to, being flexible to like those are reasons that I get rebooked. And I try to make it really easy for my clients, and I try to really bring value and vision. And I actually think sometimes I almost have to continue to work on myself as the artist more, because I just naturally have more focus in the business area, just because it's like things move so fast. Like I'll get a booking for 2 weeks, or a client needs, all my information, and like, but they're used to it looking a little more buttoned up, especially in the corporate world. Mm-hmm. And so having to play in all of those spaces, I just think being super solid with business has really given me an edge, and it's not to be overlooked. And I think it can make the huge difference if you're competing against other DJs, or if someone's going to book you. Your follow-up, how you respond, how you show up for the event, it can go like miles. And I just really think that is a huge piece of what I have to, what I would say, like lean on is like a big piece of where I found a lot of success.
Mm-hmm. I definitely, that makes a lot of sense. And I haven't really heard that yet from as far as advice goes, but that makes sense, because it's like, some people might see the DJing thing as like, kind of like that. Oh, it's close to like a rock star lifestyle. Like I play music, I'm at parties, but no, it's like, you have to make sure you're just as sharp. Your materials are ready. You show up professional, like all those things are definitely going to be important. So I like hearing that side of it. And I think people might not even realize, especially for newer DJs, how much like of that business and legwork you're going to have to do on your own to build at first, like to really be, connecting and putting yourself out there. So we really appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming on here today. I look forward to hearing your mix, and I'm excited for everyone to hear as well. And we look forward to connecting more in the future.
Totally. And I'll just give you like a pop about my mixes. Like I did very less. Like I play a lot of like, pop, and I play a lot of like, I'm open format, right? And hip hop, but I really am right now singing my heart in more of an international vibe, with Afro house. Nice. And just have more of a world mix. So that's what I really like leaned into with this mix that you're about to hear.
Awesome. We love that. Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much, and look forward to speaking with you again in the future.
All right. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.